AI is changing the world, and now you're going to learn how it can change your English. Are you ready? Well then, let's jump right in. Way number one, you're going to start using AI to make your English sound like a native speaker wrote it. That's right. You see, a book can't tell you when your English sounds just a bit off, but a coach can. AI is going to become that coach. The moment you bring your writing, your own writing into it, you stop consuming English and start refining your English. AI is going to become your coach. Now, how can you do this? So here is step one. You're going to write 3 to 5 sentences about something simple. Your day, a memory, an experience, something connected to your life, something you know well. Don't overthink it. Use the English you already have. You don't have to be stressed. You don't have to worry about being judged. Just use the English you know. The second step is you're going to paste what you wrote into AI and you're going to ask this. Now, I want you to take notes. This is going to be very important. This is the exact prompt to use. Here's the prompt. Rewrite this so it sounds like a native English speaker wrote it. Keep my meaning, but make it sound natural. You see, here's the key with AI. AI is very powerful. It's a tool, though. You have to know how to use that tool. In other words, you have to know the right prompts. When you put the right prompts in, amazing things will come out. So use this prompt. The next step is compare your version to the AI version side by side. What you initially wrote, those 3 to 5 sentences, next to what AI wrote, the natural native speaker version. I want you to notice what changed, the word choices, the sentence rhythm, what got cut, what got removed. That's where your fluency lives. Now you're probably wondering, hey, Teacher Tiffany, this sounds good, but what does this actually look like? I'm so glad you asked. Let's look at some examples, some real life, real world examples. So here's our first example. Example number 1. Now, before, this is what you would sound like. Today I went to the supermarket. I bought many things. The store was very crowded. I waited in line for a long time. I finally came back home. Now, the grammar, correct. Every sentence is grammatically correct, but it still felt like an English learner. It still felt a bit awkward. Now we put that into AI using the prompt that we wrote, and this is what AI would return. I ran to the grocery store today and ended up grabbing more than I planned. Way more than I planned. The place was packed. I waited forever just to check out. By the time I got home, I was completely wiped. It sounds different, right? Same content, same situation, but AI produced a more natural version. Look at this second example, all right? Example 2. Again, we're still going to use the same prompt, but here is an example of 3 to 5 sentences. My boss gave me a new project. It is very difficult. I am not sure I can finish it on time. I feel a little worried about it. Again, grammar, perfect. No problem. I understand what's going on. If you were to say this to me, I would understand you. But it still feels a bit awkward. It doesn't feel as natural as what a native English speaker would say. So you put it into AI. You use the prompt we spoke about. Again, you can rewind if you need to write that prompt down. This is what AI would return. My boss just handed me a new project, and honestly, it's a tough one. I'm not totally sure I can pull it off in time. I've been a little stressed about it all day. Same content, but the second one seems much more natural. This is what happens when you use AI as your coach. Here's the third example. Example number 3. Again, you're first adding your 3 to 5 sentences. Yesterday, I met my friend at a coffee shop. We talked about many things. We did not see each other for a long time. It was very nice. Grammar, Perfect, no problem, but it still feels just a bit awkward. Remember, we want to make your English sound like a native speaker wrote it. So we put that into AI, and this is what AI delivers back to us. I caught up with my friend at a coffee shop yesterday. We covered so much. It had been ages since we last hung out. It was honestly really nice. What happened? Way number one, you're using AI as your coach to change what you've written to make it sound more like a native English speaker. That is number one. Number two, replace your safe words with words native speakers actually use. You are intelligent. That is a fact. There are words that you use on a regular basis, but now we want to take those words and we actually want to replace them with words native speakers use. You see, most English learners have a small group of safe words they reach for every time. Good, nice, big, very important. Textbook synonyms often don't help because nobody actually says them. AI lets you, that's right, my friend, lets you find the words real people use in real conversations. All right, so how can you do this? I want you to pay close attention. This is how you can do this. First, I want you to pick one word you know you overuse. For example, when I was learning Korean, one word that I overused when I was first learning Korean, and even when I got to the intermediate level, was 진짜. 진짜 means really, but I would use it all the time. Still use it today, but I would overuse that word. So find a word that you are overusing. Be honest. The one you say at least 5 times a day. You know that English word that you love so much. Then you're going to ask AI this. Here's the prompt. Again, pause the video if you need to. Pause the audio of the podcast. Write this prompt down. Give me 5 alternatives to, insert the word, that native English speakers actually use in everyday conversation. Show each one in a natural sentence. This is the prompt you need. After this, you're going to pick the 1 or 2 that sound most like you. It's going to give you the 5 words, the 5 alternatives. You look at these alternatives and you determine which one you like the most. Then use them this week. Don't try to remember all 5. Own a couple, 1 or 2 deeply. Now, what does this actually look like? Here's the first example. Let's say we have the word good and we ask AI to give us 5 alternatives. Here's the first one, solid. That was a solid meeting. Next, decent. The food was decent, nothing crazy. 3 or third, great. I had a great time, honestly. 4th, fantastic. She did a fantastic job on the report. And finally, awesome. That movie was awesome. You see what happened, right? The word was good, a word that you were very familiar with. But we asked AI, hey, give me 5 alternatives to the word good that native speakers actually use in real life. What about this example? A word you've probably used often. The word is very. We ask AI to give us alternatives. Alternative number 1, really. I'm really tired today. Super. She's super nice once you get to know her. Incredibly. It was incredibly cold this morning. Insanely. The traffic was insanely bad. And pretty. I'm pretty exhausted, honestly. What happened? Once again, we asked AI, hey, I know this word, but I need to know 5 alternatives that native speakers actually use in real life. You see what's happening, right? You're using AI as your coach to help you speak English fluently. Here's the third example, the word important, a word that you know well. We have huge. This meeting is huge for our team. Key. Sleep is key if you want to stay focused. A big deal. Getting that client back is a big deal. Notice we have words and even some expressions that are alternatives to our first one. Alternatives for the term we put in to AI. AI is what? Yes, AI is becoming your coach. 4th, we have crucial. His feedback was crucial to the project. And finally, major. That's a major issue we need to fix. What's happening? You are using AI to be your coach. It is acting as your coach, helping you expand your vocabulary. This moves us to way number 3. Train your brain to answer without freezing. I love this one. Again, train your brain to answer without freezing. You see, real conversations are not speeches. They're not monologues. They're follow-up questions. You see, most learners can prepare an answer. You're intelligent. If I were to give you 5 questions, you could prepare your answer. But the second question, that follow-up question that will come up later, is where you may freeze, is where an English learner feels this awkwardness, this nervousness. AI, however, lets you practice that exact moment alone with zero pressure. This is why I think AI is such a powerful tool for you as an English learner to start using immediately. So let me explain how you can use AI to do this. Here's the first step. You're going to write 2 to 3 sentences about something you did recently. Again, connecting it to your life. Something you did recently. Keep it simple. Like, today I visited my friend. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be anything long. Then you're going to ask AI this. Copy this exact prompt. Ask me follow-up questions about this, one at a time, like we're having a real conversation. AI is your coach. Then you're going to answer each question out loud or in writing, but quickly without overthinking. You're going to stay in the conversation for 5 to 10 exchanges. This is the muscle you've been missing. That practice, oh, I'm alone. How can I practice? How can I improve my fluency? How can I get used to answering follow-up questions without being nervous? Use AI as your coach. What does this look like in real life? Here's the first real life example. Let's say you entered this information. You say, today I visited my friend. We had lunch together. It was really fun. Very simple. That's what you did today. Listen to the follow-up questions. After we entered that prompt into AI, listen to the follow-up questions. Here are the follow-up questions. Question number 1. Nice. Where did you go for lunch? How long have you and your friend known each other? What made it so fun? Was it the food, the conversation, or something else? And do you guys hang out often, or was this a special occasion? You see what happened there, right? All of a sudden, AI brought up questions that maybe you didn't even think about, but AI is now your coach, helping you speak English fluently without any pressure. You're not nervous. You're alone studying with AI. Example number 2. Example number 2 is the same, a simple statement. Yesterday, I started a new workout routine. I was really sore today, but I feel proud of myself. Excellent. Great example. You told me what you did. Now it's time for AI to give you follow-up questions. Here are the follow-up questions. That's awesome. What kind of workout did you start? Where on your body are you feeling the most sore? What made you decide to start now? How are you planning to stay consistent with it? AI is your coach. AI is giving you follow-up questions. So later on, when you have a conversation with someone and they ask you a follow-up question, you'll have the answer. Why? Because you practiced with your AI coach. Here's example number 3. Again, you're giving a simple breakdown of what happened. I had a big meeting at work this morning. It went better than I expected. I'm relieved. Great. I know that you had a big meeting. You're relieved. Now we need follow-up questions. Here are the follow-up questions from AI. Congrats. What was the meeting about? What were you most nervous about going in? What part went better than you expected? How are you celebrating? This is how you use AI to coach you to improve your English fluency, which leads us to way number 4. Learn to describe what you see like a native speaker. That's right. Learn to describe the things around you, the things you see, like a native speaker. Here's the shift. You see, most learners describe what they see in flat, simple sentences. For example, there is a dog. The dog is brown. However, native speakers, native English speakers, add detail, color, and life. The skill is not about vocabulary. It's about noticing, seeing the fine details. AI shows you what you're not noticing yet. AI is powerful. So how do you do this? Here's how you do this. First, I want you to upload an image to AI. It can be a photo you have, a screenshot you took of a website online or an image online, anything visual. You're going to upload that image to AI, whichever AI platform you use. Then you're going to write 1 to 2 simple sentences describing what you see. You're going to describe what you see, writing your sentences. Whatever comes to you first. No stress, no nervousness, just write. Then this is the prompt. You're going to ask AI, write this down. Here's what I wrote about this image. Give me 3 more descriptive ways a native English speaker might describe it. Tell me what details I missed. This is the prompt you should use. Then, after it gives you the response, read all 3 out loud. Notice what your version was missing. Was it adjectives, atmosphere, action, or comparison? That's your next layer. You're using AI as your coach. So let's see some examples for this way. Here is example number 1. Example number 1, you've uploaded an image and you write this. There is a coffee shop. A person is reading by the window. It is raining outside. You described what you saw. Here's what AI returns. A cozy coffee shop on a gray, rainy afternoon. One person tucked into the window seat, lost in a book. Rain streaks down the window while a quiet reader sips coffee, completely absorbed in their novel. It's one of those slow, rainy afternoons, the kind where a coffee shop fills up with people just trying to stay warm and read. Notice how detailed, how descriptive the response was from AI. It almost brought you into the situation. You can almost visualize it. Even though you're looking at it, if you're watching this video lesson, you can visualize it in your mind. So the question is, what did you miss? Here's what you missed. The atmosphere. You see cozy, gray, slow. The action, tucked into or lost in, and the feeling the scene gives off. AI is helping you recognize these little things that are important for English fluency. Example number 2. Before, you would just write this. The street is busy. There are many lights. People are walking. That is a correct sentence. That is a correct breakdown of what's going on in this image, in this video clip. However, look at how AI adds details. The street is alive, neon signs everywhere, crowds weaving through the sidewalks, the city humming at full volume. Bright signs light up every corner while people pour in and out of restaurants and shops. The whole street feels electric. A typical Friday night in the city. Packed sidewalks, glowing storefronts, and that unmistakable buzz in the air. You see the difference. AI is giving you much more detail, right? So what were you missing in yours? You see the energy, alive, electric, buzz, specific imagery, neon signs, glowing storefronts, and human movement, weaving, pouring in and out. AI is now helping you see what you missed, being more descriptive. Example number 3. Example number 3 is another one. You could simply say, there is a dog on the couch. The dog is sleeping. The sun is on the dog. That is correct. That describes what we're seeing on the screen. However, when we ask AI, this is what AI says. A sleepy dog is stretched out on the couch, soaking up a patch of afternoon sunlight. Curled up in the warm sun, the dog is completely passed out, paws twitching like he's chasing something in a dream. The dog has claimed the sunny spot on the couch, and honestly, he looks like he's having the best nap of his life. AI is your coach, helping you be more descriptive. So what was the first response missing? What was missing? How the dog is lying, stretched out, curled up. The warmth and feel of the sun, soaking up, warm patch. And personality, claimed the spot, best nap of his life. AI can help you be more descriptive, picking out the important pieces of what you are seeing. Way number 5. Stop giving opinions that sound empty. You have your own ideas, you have your own thoughts, you have your own perspectives, but in English, you need to make sure you're giving them properly. So AI can help you stop giving opinions that sound empty. You see, saying I think it's good is not an opinion, it's a sentence. Real fluency means being able to back up what you say, to support your opinion, to support your idea. In meetings, interviews, and serious conversations, this is the skill that gets noticed. And AI, your new coach, is the perfect practice partner because it will keep pushing you. How can you do this? Here is step 1. Write one opinion. Anything. For example, I think social media is harmful, or I believe coffee is better than tea. Whatever opinion you have, write that opinion down. Then you're going to ask AI. Here's the prompt you need to write down. You're going to ask AI this. Challenge my opinion. Ask me for reasons, my supports, and specific examples. One question at a time. This is the prompt you need. Then you're going to answer each question fully before moving to the next. Don't let yourself off the hook with, because I just think so. This is where your opinions become powerful in English, using AI as your coach. Here's the first example using this method. So let's say, for example, you wrote, for your opinion, I think working from home is better than working in an office. That's a good opinion. But now AI has to help you give support, give reasons for your opinion. So AI returns, what specifically makes working from home better for you? Next, can you give a real example from your own work life where it made a clear difference? And then, what would you say to someone who argues that working in an office builds stronger team relationships? These are excellent questions that will force you to support your opinion. Example number 2. Let's say that you initially wrote, I believe everyone should learn a second language. Again, a good opinion, a good perspective. AI would respond to you with these questions. Why do you think it's so important? What does a second language actually give a person? Can you share an example from your own life where knowing another language changed something for you? And what about people who say they'll never need it because they only live and work in one country? Excellent questions that will help you find ways to support your opinion. AI is your new coach. Example number 3. Here is your opinion. Social media does more harm than good. Maybe this is your real opinion. But AI now is going to give you questions to help you support it. What kind of harm are you talking about specifically? Mental health, relationships, attention? Can you give an example of someone you know or yourself being affected by it? And what about the people who use it to build businesses, find community, or stay connected with family abroad? How do you respond to that side? This is how you use AI to improve your English fluency. Let AI be your English fluency coach.